What's going on, everybody? KSA Kris here, talking through the six-figure agent program, finishing up with marketing channels. We actually have, it looks like two more videos that I'm going to do on this, and I'm going to kind of progress past that. So today we're going to talk about, really talking about the money, right? So we talked about the different marketing channels. We talked about the different things you could be doing in each one of those marketing channels. I mean, we really started breaking down a lot of it, but what we haven't talked about yet is really talking about the analytics. And the analytics to me is what's extremely important. Each one of the five things, and we'll go through it again real quick. So prospecting cold calls, right? Follow-up calls. So you should be doing 2 hours of cold calls, 1 hour of follow-up calls. And then after that, you're going to be doing direct mail. You should be doing direct mail at minimum 5 per day. And I've did, there's a previous video on this. Then we go into social media, open houses. If you want extra credit, you go into sphere of influence, right? So you need to be able to sit down and start analyzing every one of these different things. If you're doing cold calls, how many calls did I make? How many contacts did I make? How many appointments did I get off that and off of each appointment? How many total contracts did I walk away with on homes that I've sold? You do the same thing for everything because you want to start looking at not only time, but you want to look at money, whatever amount of investment that you're going to do. So again, if you're doing inbound leads, so you're paying to actually get stuff to come in, qualify those leads, schedule appointments, go out to your homes, get stuff. You need to be able to sit down and say, for this is my cost per lead, this is my cost per conversion. Okay, so that's for all of it. You need to know how much you're spending, how much it's costing you. That's all part of your total overhead. I think a lot of people think. Let me rephrase. I don't think a lot of people think. I think a lot of agents, they just spend money, and then when they get a chunk paycheck, they get a chunk money. They're like, oh, well, I'm winning. That's not true. You got to look at the whole big picture, because I've seen plenty of people that are closing plenty of deals, but they're still going broke. And the reason why they're going broke is because they're spending way more than they're actually making. They just aren't really looking at the big picture. They didn't sit down and spend the time to actually analyze every single marketing channel. You have to analyze every one. Things that you should be looking for. Cost per lead. So how many leads did I get in? What is the process to create that lead, right? If it's not money, even if it's energy, energy is money. You still need to say it takes me this many hours to talk to this many people in order to get this many appointments, to get this many closings. So analyze all of it. Now, the next big thing that I'm going to go into after you've analyzed it, right? And we've already talked about when should you start paying, or when should you start investing more money, and how much more money should you be investing into your business, right? And we've mentioned it was 15 to 20%. You can do more, it's up to you. But 15% to 20% is what you should be reinvesting your business off of every deal. But the next big one is what can I do next? Like, what's the next big thing for me? And really, it comes down to hiring somebody. I was talking to one of our agents the other day about this, and it's like, getting a ton of deals, but losing his mind, not getting a whole lot of sleep, looked just worn out, not prospecting, basically stop prospecting. I talk about this a lot, bouncing off the bottom, right? Spending so much time and energy on clients and deals that basically you walked away from the thing that got you to the point where you were making money, right? So the first hire that you should look at is getting an administrator, hiring somebody to do all of the daily, don't want to say the word menial because they aren't menial tasks, but daily tasks that need to be done. Somebody has to do them to free you up to do the thing that's going to give you the best return. And we talked about this in the last video that I did. I even talked about this. How much are you worth per hour? When you talk about marketing channels and the returns that are coming from each marketing channel, if each channel is giving you one deal, how many hours are you putting into it, and what is the return from that? So how much are you worth per hour? Okay. So based off of what you're going to pay your administrative assistant, you need to look at next, what tasks are they going to do that frees me up to basically create or generate more money? Are there tasks that I can actually have my administrator do? So example, my administrator does my Facebook blast. My administrator, I just looked, posts up all of my super cool digital flyers and my print flyers. My administrator helps me schedule open houses and finds me open houses or coordinates open houses with our clients. My administrator coordinates with other agents to make them stand or ask them to stand open houses that I don't have time or space to stand, but it helps, get my house sold, and also it makes my clients happy. So how much is an administrator worth? That's a huge one. But again, if you're looking at the analytics and you're looking at investing a certain amount of money back into your business, sometimes investing it into trying to get more business is not always the best return on your money. It always comes back to how much are you worth per hour? how much you're worth per hour. You always got to be thinking that way. That's how you start to build your business. So the big question is, when should you hire somebody? When you get to the points where you have consistent business and you're consistently prospecting and you're just overwhelmed. It hurts too much. You literally are at a peak, not a peak, a plateau, to where you can't get more business. So I always ask people, how many deals have you carried at one time? Like, what is the largest amount of listings you've ever carried? And I've heard agents say, oh, well, I was, 5 listings at a time. I'm like, well, okay, was that overwhelming or was it easy for you? Like, man, I lost my mind. Kim and I, when we were really, really, because now we run brokerage, this, that, and the other, we still carry a lot of listings at any given time. But when we first were really going and it was just us, we were carrying anywhere from 50 to 60 listings at a time, all the time. Imagine trying to make that work out. That's a nightmare if you don't have a staff. So you really hire, and I'm always looking for, who can I hire to take care of this task where I can still make a profit? And that's really the next set of mindset that you want to get into. Now, I don't know. Yeah, I did. I put up a homework item, and one of the homework items, it's called reading or listening to the audiobook of the E-Myth. Okay, fantastic book, and it breaks down a lot of this stuff that I'm talking about right now. So things that we're talking about today: A, analyze. Everything that you do, every marketing channel. So I told you the basic marketing channels. We've talked about it. There was 3 episodes before this one. This is the 4th. Every marketing channel we talked about, you should be deeply analyzing everything that you're doing, the amount of energy and the amount of money, contacts, and your returns that you're getting from each one of those marketing channels. Based off of that information that you have, you need to start looking at, what are the returns I'm getting? How much am I reinvesting into my business in order to generate more business? You want to continuously, every month, grow bigger. Every month you want to get, so if you got 2 deals this month, you want to get 3 next month, and then 4 the next month, and 5 the next month. You want to keep growing, right? So what does that look like? How much you reinvest in your business? When do you decide that you need to hire, and who's your first hire? Your first hire needs to be an administrative assistant, and you need to hire them when it hurts. You just can't do it anymore, and you're basically at a plateau to where you cannot get any more business because you don't have time to prospect anymore. That's when you hire somebody, so you can focus back on prospecting and also hand them some of your prospecting tasks and hand them some of the tasks of dealing with your clients and your day-to-day work. That's all I got today. I appreciate you. I hope this one helped. In my opinion, this one is gold. Not enough people really think about it or know about it, but I'm a huge fan. That's all I got. Appreciate y'all. Talk to you later. Bye.